Paji. Welcome to Paji Podcast number 4. Should we start this right from the beginning?
You take it where you want to, and we go.
So, many people won't know, we actually went to high school together.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
And it's like our high school was the only way to describe how we all came together is if people watch Discovery Channel and they watch Animals to a Watering Hole, it was all the Indians coming together by the tree at the library.
It was.
Every ethnicity all came together at that tree.
Yeah.
And then I guess it was, well, he looks like me. I'll go hang out with him, in new country. I was only a week in New Zealand and I was into school. Didn't know anybody.
You came from?
South Africa, Durban. That's what we call the curry pot of South Africa. That's where majority of the Indians are. Because back in the 1800s when indentured laborers came over, well, they didn't come over. Yeah. They got put on a ship to come and work on the sugarcane fields.
Yeah. That's
how we ended up in South Africa. So, yeah.
Do you remember why your family and how they decided to come to Auckland?
In the late 90s, say 98 to that 2000, there was this massive influx of immigrations going to Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. And my father's brother, was coming here or was here already, and he just wanted a better life for us because where I lived, low socioeconomic group. That area was created during the apartheid for non-whites, and it was mostly the Indians where they lived. It's called Chatswood. It's, I don't know, it's like in that neighborhood there, you go to school, you finish school, you don't have what we have study link here to go to university. So most people don't really get to go to university because you can't afford it. So you're just going to go and get a job, get married, live happily, die there. That was your life. So you always were in that neighborhood dreaming of, I'm going to make it through with sport, or I have to be very smart. So I get out with education or I get out with sport. And so we're struggling. You'd struggle, you'd be happy, you'd be rock bottom, like you're eating fish the whole week, going catching fish at 11 years old with your father, because that's all the food you have to eat. So it's those sort of times in life where you realize like, damn, now when you look back, then you don't know. I just love fishing, right? But I'm leaving school to go and fish. And you don't know what you're doing. And I'd go pick up glass bottles from the bins near the football fields. I'll dig in the bush because one crate is 25 Rand. So if I made 4 crates, that's $100. It's massive money for me. So once all the football, this one place in Unit 3, 3B, it had like 8 grounds. Once everyone left, because I was embarrassed to go and pick bottles. They didn't know I needed money. So I'd let everyone leave the ground and I'd go to all the bins and I'd take their 1.25 litre bottles. And from there, I'd jump in a taxi, go to Chatswood Centre, back where the taxi rank was, give the bottles in, get the money. Do that sort of stuff. Pick fruits off the trees, sit on the side of the road, sell it. My sisters would be about 2 Ks up the road in another corner, just selling fruit on the side of the road. Mother sews stuff, sit at a market and sell stuff. So we're literally doing whatever we can to just, make it like, it's just the nature of what it is. So you always dreamed and wished and hoped and got this opportunity where, hey, they're looking for trade, builders. And at that time, father came over, plastered a house and they offered him a job. And they actually, did that. We gave our passports and then we knew in the next year we packed everything up. My father had like an insurance policy, like from the time he started working, from the time I was born. He put that for money for me to go to university because last born, the son, I have to get the family out, the hope. I had no problem with that. So I knew I'd finished school, I'm going to university, there's money there for me to go. We took that money, cashed that up, it bought our plane tickets, got us a shipping container, we put whatever we could put in there and shipped it over, and one-way ticket in January 14, 2001, landed in NZ. Had no clue what I was coming to. I don't know, like for me, I'm going to America. I don't know, I knew nothing else. Like, I'm leaving the country, I'm going to America. Everything's, Western American, But had no clue what I was getting into.
So when you came in 2001, you came straight to Auckland Boys.
Auckland Grammar, yep. I came to do my last year because I finished my second last year of school there in South Africa. So I had my last year. We do 12 years in South Africa. They do 13 here. So they put me one back into sixth form, which is year 12, which is the year all you boys were, right? So I came in and, had my interview and they were like, oh, yeah, because I have a heavy sporting background as well. So, that was it. And it's strange because it was an all-boys school. Yeah. I'm not used to that. I've only ever went to a co-ed school.
Yeah, same.
And massive, massive school. I'm used to a 4 brick blocks. We had 3-meter wire fence, barbed wire, guards, dogs. We had proper prison-style school. I come here to this massive, beautiful, old-style, grammar-style building. I was scared. I've never been, because for us in South Africa, those were the white schools.
Yeah.
They could only afford to go to those schools. So I was scared. And I sat down and the guy sitting next to me, his name was Gray. His surname was Gray. He was South African as well, white guy. And I asked him, I didn't see anyone sitting upstairs in the assembly. And I go, is that the girls where they sit? Didn't even see Auckland Grammar because I was so scared. I was I had blinkers on. Yeah. I was sitting down. I'm like, oh, surely the girls are all sitting up there. He goes, brother, it's a boys' school. I go home. I'm like, why y'all put me in a boys' school? Because I need girls for motivation. I got to study and make me do well. But that was it. It was a school for sport and academics. And that was it. And like I said, I met lifelong friends.
Man, we're a good bunch of people. I'm just trying to think here. It's a memory test for both of us. When's the first time we met?
Ooh, good question. For me, I'm going... I want to say, no, you weren't in my classes. Were you in my classes? You were. Were you in English at all with me?
Were we in the same chemistry?
Biology.
The teacher used to slam the desk.
Yes, we were.
Soccer coach.
The soccer coach, but we were in biology. You did biology?
Yeah.
Mr. Prakash?
Yes.
Yes, and then Avalash Singh as well.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was it. Oh, while I'm at biology, I'll tell you something funny.
Yeah.
I never heard of the word mufti before. And we had to go to PR to do a biology trip and the rocks and the organisms and all that jazz. He said, you can wear mufti. Never heard that in my life. I waited for everyone to leave the class. Yeah. I go and ask him, sir, where can I buy this mufti? I'm thinking it's some special sort of clothes you got to buy. So I don't know we've never heard. Yeah. For us, it's American Day or colored clothes. Yeah. I never heard these words before. And you could see he wanted to laugh. Yeah. But he goes, nah, it's just your whatever clothes you have. Yeah. You can wear. So that was one of my first encounters of oh my word, I'm so behind. I don't know anything outside of what I know in my neighborhood. Yeah. But that's it there. And then by the library and the pool, you walk down a few steps, there's this massive tree.
That's where we met. Or we used to hang out. Yeah.
So that tree was the watering hole, like Discovery Channel. Yeah. All the Indians used to come there. So I was like...
All 6 of us.
All 6 of us in the whole of Auckland Grammar. We belonged there, but then it grew big.
It did.
I've got a photo. of us. There's about 15, 20 strong. Yeah. But we had a Bulgarian in there, French exchange student in there by that time.
Dubai,
Pakistan.
So I'm from Kashmir.
Oh, yeah. So the group grew, but it was very ethnic. Not by choice, it's just natural gravitation. So we understood each other.
Really well. Speaking of that watering hole, one of my vivid memories of you when we're talking about our future is you said you want to do what you're doing now. And back then that wasn't really a career or a career path.
Nope.
And I remember every time you'd say it, not in a bad way, but we're like, yeah, okay, sure. Because there was no career path.
Everyone did that.
Because,
Everyone did that to me. Even when I went to... So I did 2.5 years of physio. Mm. And this is 2004. And then come to 2006 finished. How am I going to...
Just for those people watching, what did you want to do back then?
I wanted to be a sports scientist. Yeah. Right? So I only ended up doing physio because it was a very well-known career and it was respected. Yeah. But sports science wasn't catching light. It just started catching light late 90s, 2000s in the States where it became commercialized, or they started showing the exciting side of sport performance. Now, because I come from a very sporting family in South Africa, so I was very interested in it. So I always thought hey, I'd like to do that. But it was not very well known. So after 2.5 years, I walked out of physio. I'm like, how am I going to tell my parents I just walked out of physio school and I want to do sports science? And they're probably thinking I'm someone just going to do star jumps. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So eventually I broke it to them I'm applying for sports science, and I got in, switched over, and I was doing sports science. And then I told some of my friends in physio, I'm moving, I'm going to do sports science. And they're like, what? You're just going to be an overqualified personal trainer? And I go, yeah, all good, just watch me. One of the sports science lecturers told me you don't want to be a PT when you finish sports science. There's not many jobs for sports science and stuff. In my head, I'm like, you guys are such narrow thinkers. I could see the vision.
Right? How could you see the vision back then?
I'm a dreamer, brother. I'm a dreamer. I told you for where I come from. All we do is we visualize things, and we're always thinking about things. We watch TV. I'd watch sport, football, rugby, the works. And I'm like, man, it'd be so nice to be on that TV screen, on that sideline, on the bench, be with all these pro athletes, train them. Because you'd see articles. That time it was magazines and newspapers and what they show on TV. There's no social media for that. We didn't have a computer at home. We didn't have internet. You can't afford. Internet wasn't around for us at that time. So for what you saw, you're like, okay, I'll do it. I don't know when or how. Didn't even know I was leaving South Africa to come to New Zealand. Got here, and then I saw how heavily they love sport. I'm like, man, I could do this. I started Googling AUT, and they got that stuff. So I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm going to do it. And I read into what the course is, the degree. I'm like, oh, this is it. And I started thinking about, man, I just want to create Super Saiyan athletes. And as my mind is wild, right? So I said, let me do that. And then I'll go into my degree of sports science. My last year of my degree, I said I'm going to open a performance gym. So that last year, me and 2 other friends planned this gym while we're finishing our biggest year. 2013, January, I opened the gym on the North Shore. And the rest was history. It just took off from there. I never took my foot off the idea. A lot of people sort of want to give up at that first hurdle. A lot of people want to give up at other people telling them, oh, you're just going to be a glorified PT. Oh, it's not really a career for you. A lot of people will take that and they make too much of what other people think. So for me, I was like, I want to live out my dreams. My dream could be so small to your dream, but that's okay. Let me live my dream. And then I saw it and I went for it.
So when you saw it and you went for it and you opened the gym up on the shore, how did things progress as a pathway for you to now where you're training some of the greats in the different sports? How did it progress from study to gym?
You're right.
How did you get your first big break? Because I remember you giving me a call saying you got a guy. We can go into that.
Yeah. So for me, because I knew I wanted a performance gym, not a regular commercial gym, I wanted to work with people in sport. So that was it. I'm like, okay, I'm the target, but everybody knew me. I used to do road running, quite highly competitive, and football. So they already knew, it's Sunz. And I had friends. And then before I finished my degree, about 4 years before, I approached clubs with no degree. And I said, give me your under-19 team. Let me show you what I can do for them. And nah. Albany United, Rashad Vahad, he was one of the chairmen there and stuff. He goes, okay, under-19, we'll give you our under-19. Don't want to touch the first team. No problem. Let me show you, because I already done 2.5 years of physio. It's not sports science, but I've come from a training background. I said, let me see what I can apply. And if I can just add structure to the under-19 boys, nothing else. I wasn't a trainer at the time. I was still studying. I just started sports science. And their under-19 team finished top of the table. And he's like, okay, come to the first team. First team did well. So that was before I even finished and opened the gym. So I created a name already for who I am. Fast forward, open the gym. I started with a few local rugby boys from Northcote. Through my other friend, Alex Rowan, he brought them in and they saw the space and they saw what we were doing. We already finished our degree. We were applying science and showing them how to structure training and, prepare for game day competitions, etc. And then, took Glenfield Rovers at the time. 2014, they were in the Premier League. They won the Premier League. Next year, Forest Hill Milford, they were in Division 1. They came to me, they won the league and got promoted to Premier League. Tom Abercrombie from the Breakers and the Tall Blacks at the time came through. Shot putters, sprinters, then Israel Adesanya. Yeah.
So
end of 2013, he messaged, because we knew each other from mutual friends.
yeah.
We used to sit and watch fighting together.
Yes.
We'd go to a bar and watch UFC together.
Yes.
And he said, hey, one of our trainers has left from the gym. I think we can work together.
Yeah.
2014, January, we started.
Yes.
And I saw him move and we knew each other. And I told everyone, hey, Israel Adesanya is going to be world champ.
Yeah.
Louis Wetton, his father is former All Black. He was playing for Northcote. Brother is still a pro rugby player. I told him in the gym, hey, Israel is going to be world champ.
You told me. You told me.
Everybody that...
And I want to say I believed you. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, there was a few people that hit me with those ones.
Yeah, I don't want to lie. I want to say.
Yeah. And then about 2 years ago, he saw me in the city, Louis Wetton. He goes, you told me that.
Yeah.
And just by the way I saw him, how he moved, the way he carried himself, we started training. We dominated the NZ scene, all of the King in the Rings 3 times, China, the works, and went into the UFC. Fast forwarding now from 2014.
But before you fast forward, what's he like, bro? What's he like behind the scenes? And has he changed because he's reached such amazing heights in the sport?
Like,
is he the same OG?
Your core values won't change.
Yeah.
Like, if there's no cameras around, etc., for people to judge, and for those that really know him, he's still the same person.
That's cool.
But then when you see him dancing and acting up on camera, people go, oh, that's, he's putting it on. I've got videos from 2014 when there was not much social media, dancing and everything. When I post it up sometimes, every now and again, I go, he was doing that, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
It's not something he's doing now because there's light on him. He's always done that.
That's cool.
But he's just a chill guy. He's a chill guy. But you have to be a special person like Kaika, France, all these fighters, and you've had David Tua and stuff like that. You have to be another animal, those guys. So, they're always chill, but then they have that other side to them.
Do you think you connect with these super athletes because you too have some crazy vision? Like you could see a career path before it existed.
Right. I think crazies all connect.
Yeah, crazy in a good way. Can visualize and manifest and believe.
So it's like-minded people come together. So I don't like lazy. I'm allergic to lazy. I hate lazy people. All right. So I like people that have vision, want to think, want to throw out ideas and do stuff. So it's those same people. But then often these athletes, a lot of them come from struggle. So we also have that connection point.
Yeah, I should add, speaking of lazy, it's 10 p.m. right now on a Friday.
Yeah.
And when we messaged you for a time for the podcast, you didn't complain once and you drove from 2 hours away. Thank you. So
No.
Definitely live what you preach.
No, 100%. I was leaving and coming to my niece's boyfriend was like, where you going? A podcast. And my niece was like, I can't believe you're doing a podcast at 9 p.m. at night. I go, if the message got to get out there, the message got to get out there.
Yeah.
There's no time for it.
It does. So you meet Israel, you have mutual friends.
Yeah.
You can tell straight away with your history in sports and passion for fighting that this dude's got what it takes in all levels. He's going to make it. Then what?
The thing is, one thing I need to touch on there, his ability to process information was one of the key things. Like moving is all good and well. Everyone can move, whatever it is. But you tell him something new that's out of his norm, he gets it within the first or second try straight away.
That's amazing.
So I knew straight away, like there's something up there he's ahead of everybody else. So yeah, that's what I saw with Izzy, like how he processes things so quick.
And then how did the rest get involved?
Right.
And
So yeah, sorry, I forgot to jump there. So with the football is going on, while Izzy is going on at the same time, and then I go into National League or Waikato, YBOP, they were called YBOP. I took that team, this is National League now, it's the highest domestic level, and I got paid no money for that. But I said, you know, let me show you. I'm trying to prove to people. So I used to drive from up near Wellsford all the way to Waikato near FMG Stadium 4 times a week for no money. I'd take some of the boys with me because I didn't want them to drive because they're players. Take them to training, drop them off 4 times a week for about 6 months or 5 months, whatever it is, for not a cent. But I knew I have to put that graft in. I believed in myself. I believed in my methods, but I wanted to show people what it is that I can do. And that was the highest we finished. We finished 4th equal that year, but because of goal difference, we finished 5th. But when everyone played us in that season, they knew they had a hard day because our boys were fit. So they knew, like, you know what, when we're coming up against that YBOB team, you're going to have a hard day. And then from there, I went to Eastern Suburbs. I was there for like 9 years. Went to the National League, won the National League with them. Went into 2 Chatham Cup finals. Went to the OFC championship. We won our pool, but then COVID hit at that time. But yeah, it was just a snowball of people coming through. And then I got to like 2017, 2018. And then Kai Kara France come along because he saw the work I was doing with Izzy. Blood Diamond, you know, Carlos Olberg, all the CKB fighters, the boxers. Then Sonny Bill Williams, he was one who, a mutual friend as well, gymnastics coach, told him, hey, I think you should train with Sunz for your off season because he's on that, you know, performance right with people. So I met him and we had a great chat. And then he introduced me to Quade Cooper from the Wallabies and met those 2 guys. And
wait, slow down. You know, Sonny Bill, what's he like behind the scenes?
so I'm going there.
Yeah.
So when I met the 2, so I was a mad Sonny Bill, Quade Cooper fan. Like, you know, everybody knows Quade Cooper for these mad big steps and all of that. But I didn't show it to them. I shook their hand, straight face, but inside me, I was doing backflips. All right.
My cousin used to always copy Sonny Bill's haircut. Always.
So I used to do that. But then when I met them, and you know, the media, we are so gullible now. Now we are a little bit more aware about how media influences people, right? But back then, you believed everything the media told you. It's gospel. You know what I mean? So I was like, okay. And I met these guys and I'm like, they are the most humblest people ever. Like, I could not believe it. Like, I don't invite many people into my house or my home because that's where my parents are. So you have to be very close for me to invite you to my home. And yeah, invited Sonny Bill and Quaid. They came over. They're sitting on the floor, eating dal. They love that stuff. You know, and just having a chat with my parents and normal people. And, you know, I saw what the media did. We're training on Takapuna Beach and stuff. After that, when the boys went and played golf. A week later, my sister sends me photos. Our session from Takapuna and the boys at golf ended up in the Women's Weekly. Don't know where these guys were. So now, from that point onwards, I knew what athletes were going through with the media and how the media tried to manipulate them and dog them. All right, there's some media that are really good, but leaving all that aside, they were just still stayed across so professional. Turn up to every session, give everything, have a good laugh, and then on the bike.
Yeah, I like what Sonny Bill's doing with his social media platform. You know, like just trying to keep the institutional family and good values. You know, it's just really good. I thought his fight with Mark Hunt was pretty interesting because I'm a big fan of both of them,
Yeah.
and hopefully they both keep boxing.
Nice.
So from there, now you've had some big wins
Yeah.
with the teams, and
That's right. See, there's so much going on. I forget half the things I do.
so I started researching because I'm like, I need to have some context of all the things you're doing, and then I actually gave up in the end because it's too many champions and too many sports. It's too many teams that you're working with.
Right. So,
Fill us in.
oh, man, I don't know where to start. Rugby league, rugby union, New Zealand touch, New Zealand football. You name it, like, all the MMA. So, like last year, I jumped on for the first year with Richmond Rovers Rugby League, and they won the Fox Memorial after 40 years. So that was a good sign. And
let me ask you a question. Because over the years, when I messaged you, can you train me to fight? You never responded. Do you think brown people can't fight, bro?
no, I just didn't think you were serious. I just didn't think you were serious because it takes a lot of commitment to take you away from what you're currently doing.
That's such a nice...
Some of the best boxers are brown.
Yeah.
The Indian amateur boxers,
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
But on a serious note,
Yeah.
because like a lot of my friends who are super athletes are islanders. Do you think some of the athletes that you've trained over the years are genetically gifted?
There's genetics.
Yeah.
Genetics play a part,
Like
but it's not the be-all, end-all. I'll tell you a story.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
So my nephew,
Yeah.
he's Indian.
Yeah.
So like, if you haven't figured out by the way we look,
Yeah.
right? He was like 47 kgs at the time, and he was running, doing distance running, and he didn't want to be skinny anymore.
Yeah.
And he goes, I want to be strong. You know, Indians are not strong. Yeah, you can't be strong.
Yeah.
But then he takes all the records in powerlifting in his weight class. In New Zealand, he breaks all the records. He broke the Commonwealth records, got invited to the Asian comp to break the world record in bench press. So this is an Indian, skinny Indian, that got told, you'll never be strong.
All natural.
All natural. Eat and train hard. So like when we trained, like I train people very hard, 90% plus of your max. So it's not for everyone, but you have to build up to that sort of state. But that's just an example of, you want to talk about genetics, and he'll outlive, most people. Like pound for pound, he's stronger than most people. So I think there's a lot of misconception, like, and it's sort of stuck in there, wired from back in the days, we're meant to be accountants and IT only,
Cricket.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Cricket, hockey,
Yeah.
But the more we start, breaking that mold, and one of my biggest reasons for doing what I do, I never saw an Indian SNC dominating, having world champs, being with a national team. So I'm like, if I can do it, someone catches a glimpse, someone sees this, that's Indian, and go, oh, if he can do it, that's hope. Because when I got nominated for the World MMA Trainer of the Year, caught news back in South Africa, local newspapers in my neighborhood, articles went out, people were celebrating because someone from 706 made it on the world stage. Just to be nominated as a World MMA Trainer was massive. So everything I do is also to go for people that look like me, people that look like you. Hey, we too can be in charge of these top athletes. So that's one of my big drivers, is like, I want people that look like me to know that, hey, stop limiting yourself by what other people say.
And limiting yourself with your beliefs that you might not even be aware of.
Yeah, silly beliefs from, stereotypes. We mentally shackled. We shackled to it. So it's time to like let it go. And sometimes not so much now, very rarely it'll happen, but you get that element of doubt when you walk into a room. And this was years ago, like, I don't think I'm going to be okay. But now when I walk into a room, I'll walk in like I'm 8 foot tall. Not cocky or anything. Don't confuse cockiness with confidence. But when I walk in, you'll know.
Because you've done the work.
Yeah. Back myself. It's like you keep failing your biology exam with no study.
You don't tell anyone. Eh?
No, I won't.
Okay.
I keep that on the wrap, so I cut that. But you don't study,
Yeah.
but you want to pass.
Are you talking to me?
Still talking to you. You definitely should have studied. So it's like I did my work.
Yeah.
So when I walk into a room, I'm confident. When someone questions me and talks to me within the sports science, well, I'm confident because I've done all my work. Same goes to anything you do. If you do your work and always constantly aware, how can you not be confident? I was shy. I used to be shy.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, no. I had to fight for my life when I first came. Yeah. Yeah.
So when you're working, let me ask you some specific questions. So when you're working with super athletes like Israel or Sonny Bill, and you're working with them on strength and conditioning, do you team up with like a nutritionist, strength,
So
or do you do everything?
So I do all of the strength and conditioning, right? But nutrition, etc., they have their own dietitians. Because I'm no dietitian or nutritionist, right? I just do the training. So my thing is, you go see that, and they have teams.
Yeah.
You know, like if you're coming from all blacks, all whites, whatever it is, you have your dietitians, etc. But then when the boys are pros for so long, you know what to eat, what not to eat. You don't have to be following something.
Yeah.
You know, after a year of doing things, you understand what you can eat, what you can't eat. So yeah, they're all well taken care of. And like the MMA boys use Geordie, the fight dietitian. Unbelievable, such a great guy. Teaches you so much as well. But yeah, they all have their own. I just do the S&C.
Do at that level, do they take supplements and vitamins and minerals?
Yeah. The boys, some of the things they take, of course, is like a whey protein. They take creatine. I think BCAAs, and just your usual electrolytes, vitamins, etc. So they try and eat a lot of food, and then convenience post-training, boom, because they do 3-4 trainings a day.
Wow.
So there's a lot of in-betweens, and sometimes you can't eat a lot, but you need something dense. So they make their shakes, etc.
So you're leaving New Zealand.
Yes, sir.
So what's the plan? Where are you at now? What are you doing? Where are you going?
So for the last 5.5 years, of course, I was working with everyone, including the All Whites, the men's national football team. And we just on Monday qualified for the FIFA Men's World Cup 2026.
I saw that.
Massive after 16 years.
Wow.
So that's massive. And we've got such a talented group. We're such a talented group. Like,
there's a Paji in the team too, eh?
Sarpreet Singh.
Yeah.
That's the Paji. You know, I told you, we come together. So the fact that we qualified and we got these boys playing in such high-level clubs, they're all so talented. And, we missed out on the last qualifier. I was there. It was painful for a lot of the boys because we thought we were going to win. And this one, we secured it. So next year, they go to the World Cup.
Bro, that's awesome, eh?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah. It's good for me.
Yeah.
It was good. Like, I wanted to tick that off. I wanted to go after the Paris Olympics. Yeah. I came back from the Paris Olympics and I'm like, I need to move now because my partner lives in Sydney as well. So
tell us more about
we'll get there. Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get to the partner. So, but then it didn't feel right because we had so many windows and the team hadn't qualified yet. So I felt like it would be wrong on my part if I left in between that process. I'm a man of like principles and doing things correctly, and I felt like it was wrong. So I waited until this whole process was finished. We qualified, and now I can go to Australia. Because like me and my partner, we met like 11 years ago, so, and we kept in touch. She did her thing, studies and all that. I did my thing. I was busy. And the last like 4 years, we've been talking on and off, whatever. And then, last 4 years been solid. Decided, you know what? I think I'm at that time now, my next part of my life, which is me setting up my own family and whatever. But I've been to Australia so many times and I just love the Australian, culture around sport. Because, I'm a sport nut.
Yeah.
I love sport. So just how much emphasis they put on their sport, their athletes is unreal. Like my fighter, Kai Kara France. Yeah. He went to Australia once and he came back and he goes, man, they really know how to make you feel special as an athlete. They don't get it here in New Zealand. So unfortunately, the boys don't get as much shine as they deserve. Same as our all-whites boys.
Yeah.
You know, the Chris Woods, the Michael Boxall, the Marco Stamanich, the Libby, the Tim, the whole team.
I noticed that even because I went to high school there for 2 years, there were so many different training academies for so many different sports.
Yeah.
And when I came back to New Zealand, it was just rugby.
Yeah.
As cool as rugby is.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I love rugby. I'm a rugby nut as well. I'm crazy about it.
But there was a cricket academy at high school level in each province. And then basketball and soccer.
Yeah. That's it.
Do you think it's related to population and economy?
Population, economy, everything plays a part.
Funding.
But it's easy to use that as an excuse for you not to set up something. You know, everyone has a gym. A lot of people have gyms. I could have said that and not opened mine. But I still did. And I got to where I am. You know what I mean? So if you want to set up a basketball academy, go and do it. Figure out what other countries are doing and see what works in your country based on your budget, based on your surroundings, and what's feasible. We're not saying go and take a cookie cutter and do that here, because you can't do what America does because we don't have that bank. You know, so do what works for you. Create systems that start feeding people in, but you have these that make you want to feel like you're part of something. You know, like sometimes you end up like under 17 and then you just wash away. Some people never ever play. Like some people get to under 17, under 20, international level, rep their team at age group, and then you meet them 5 years later and they're not even playing sport again. That's a shame. Because if you make your country's team at under 17, under 20, you must be good.
Yeah.
And for you to not play after that, I mean, I know people fall out of sport for various different reasons. I'm talking, if nothing else happened, you just felt like, how can we keep these people still in sport? Is what it is. But yeah, that's what Kai said. Like he felt like an athlete. And I feel like we don't give a lot of the athletes shine here. I think we still stuck on that the tall poppy thing syndrome, which is rubbish. But then I think we feel if you celebrate a win here, oh, you're being cocky. Like, man, you train so hard, you work so hard. Why are you worried about what other people think? Whatever victory in life it is, no matter how small or big it is, celebrate it. What if you don't wake up tomorrow? You know what I mean? You haven't celebrated it because, they'll think I'm not humble.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't like it. And people are, it pisses me off. So, Sydney, the partner. Yeah. Now, so, I think it'll be good if I do this part of life.
I remember you rubbing your hands like this in high school every time you had something interesting.
Man, one of my teachers in South go, you're the most animated person. And every time I talk, I've got to do something like this. You know, so, yeah. I don't know, like, she's, class act. Like someone that actually understands my life, my passion for sport and my work and how committed I am to my teens, my athletes, and she knows I travel a lot. You'll hardly see me. So I said, like, it's a bit unfair now if I keep putting my goals ahead of everybody else. So let me go and do that part of life and I can still chase these sporting dreams while I'm in Australia.
So what will you do when you land in Australia? Have you got anything lined up? Are you allowed to say?
Yeah, I got a casual job at a performance gym. So yeah, I work there and
in Sydney.
In Sydney,
yeah.
Yes, and I want to get back into the gym. So the last year, I was full time in the office at New Zealand Football. It was great. Don't mind me. Don't give me like it was great for a period, but I'm a hands-on guy. I think the office killed me a little bit. Like a little bit inside me died. And I'd said like after about 5 months of being in the office, nothing to do with anyone else but me. Like I felt like I was being caged.
Admin, paperwork, email.
Like I don't mind that stuff, but I still felt like I was caged. For me, I got to that point where I was like, I need to be in the gym. So in the evenings, I started training my fighters again. I was like, I had to do it. So then I was fine. I was like, I started training them. I was fine. And then that got me in a better place. But the sole reason for me for moving to Australia was, like I say, partner, and I love the Aussie sports scene. It's big. Like I'm still, with the All Whites boys, I'll still be with them, etc. Because we've got big, 14-ish odd months ahead. That's it, man. I like, I call it big risk, big rewards. Or high risk, high reward. So.
Your parents are still here, so you'll be coming back and forth now?
Yeah. So, it's so easy to fly from Sydney 3 hours, I'd visit the parents for a weekend or whatever it is, go back. It's not like I'm flying 20 hours across. I always also wanted to go to the States. The States are so big with sport. They love sport there. I think it's easier to travel from Australia and NZ than it is the States. So, yeah, Australia was the one, and of course there's an added bonus with the partner there. Yeah.
What are a couple of things that are really interesting about you that you haven't shared in a podcast before that would be interesting to the viewers? Let that marinate. And also for people who might be listening and thinking of pursuing their passion, a sport, and they can't see a path or a career pathway, or maybe the career doesn't exist now. What would be, if anything, a couple of tips that you would give them that have worked for you when times got tough and, you get close to breaking point or wanting to give up? What got you through those moments, and some things that people might not know that might add value to them?
For me, what gets me through tough times, or everyone's tough time is different, but whatever got me through tough times is I always go back to my life in South Africa. There's nothing gonna get in my life, nothing would be tougher than that.
Was it dangerous, where you grew up?
Yeah. It's you picture this, in every low socioeconomic group, you've got alcohol, you got drugs, you got violence. It's all guns. It's all part of it. It's all part of it. It comes with those. Look at the States. You see the ghettos, the hoods, alcohol, drugs, violence. I'm not saying it's okay, but it's just part of that group. So, you struggle, like I say, financially. You making ends, your family is making ends meet. You don't have much to eat, etc. You're selling fruits and stuff, hiding under a table because the school bus is going past. You embarrass people to see you. So when you think about all the stuff you had to do, and if the South Africans that know South African taxi ranks and how dangerous it is for your mother to go and sit there and sell vests she used to sew and stuff, you just think man, at that time you don't know. You're just doing it because you need to get money. But now when you're outside and look at it, you're like, shit, we took a chance, We really took a chance doing that. So it's that stuff. I always go back. I'm like, man, if I made it through that, and I'm a big perspective sort of a guy, there's people worse off than me. When I was there was people worse off than me. I'm here, there's people worse off than me. So what am I complaining about? I live my life like that. I'm not telling anyone else to live it, So that's how I get through tough times. It's someone's worse off than me. I've made it through that. The sun will rise tomorrow. It always rises. I plan straight away. It's I'm someone that I can say I don't stress, or maybe I don't show my stress. I'm like a duck on water, just cruising, but underneath my feet is moving 1,000,000 miles an hour. So I like to process everything. Even when someone asks me a question, or I think about it, and I think, is this the right response I should give them? What are the consequences of this response? Or is this the better response? I always try and process things and do pros and cons in my head before I do anything. I don't act on emotions. Today we act on emotions too quick. So I like to let things simmer. So that's how I deal with it. Maybe it's how someone else could deal with it, is just look at what tomorrow brings for you. If you can't see what tomorrow brings to you, well, make a plan of what if, you know what I mean? That's how it is. I've always been a dreamer and schemer and a freaking hustler or whatever the word is. I don't even know, but that's how I do it. You know, something about me, man. I don't know, like anybody that
What
does
kind of music do you listen to?
everything.
Everything.
Like,
Sorry to interrupt you. I'm just trying to...
no.
What else we can pull?
Nah, I got country. Love country music, slow jams, old school ballads, you know.
Who's your favorite old school boxer?
Old school boxer. Ooh. Like, if we go old school, like Mike Tyson vibes and Sugar Ray. Yeah, those... Like Sugar Ray, I watched tape. Mike Tyson and saw him fight. And then I like, of course, Mayweather, because I was coming up through that time where he was dominating. So that's my boxers there.
What about MMA fighters, but not anyone that you've trained?
Okay. Not anyone. I loved Anderson Silva.
Yeah.
Anderson Silva was my guy. He was the man. It's really... That was the real guy that I was like, I want to see him fight. And I happened to see him fight against Izzy, who I was training, and me and Izzy on my friend's couch watched UFC, and Izzy goes to me, I'll fight him one day.
That's crazy.
And I ended up watching it live in Rod Laver in Melbourne, him fight Anderson Silva.
That's crazy because you said, look, in 2013, 2014, I think.
Yeah, 2014, I said he'll be...
You said, I got a guy, he's amazing, he's going to be world champion.
Yeah. A couple of years later, we were still watching UFC together on the couch.
Yeah.
He says, I'll fight him one day.
Yeah.
Couple of years later in Melbourne, he's fighting him and wins, and I'm sitting in the crowd, full circle.
That's insane.
That's buzzy.
Yeah.
And that was a buzzy moment. Yeah. So that was good. But yeah, music is all over the place. Sidhu Moosewala.
Yeah. I met him.
You met him?
Yeah.
I never met him.
Yeah.
I don't understand what's going on,
Yeah.
but I just vibe with the music. So I listen to every culture as well.
Yeah.
I listen to all
I noticed
languages.
there's island music in your story today.
Island music,
Yeah.
Arabic
Reggae.
music, everything. I don't even understand some of the French music I put on.
Yeah.
But if I'm vibing with something, music is a universal language.
I think so.
It brings people together. If you're in a room and you play something, everyone starts dancing, they're all vibing. So I feel that like music connects people quite a bit. So yeah, I listen to a wide range. Because I took it upon me as one of my jobs in the All Whites on tour. I'm a music guy.
Bro, do you reckon you can put in a nice word to Izzy and Sonny Bill, see if we can get them on the podcast?
They're the hardest people to probably get hold of.
Man, but I'm talking to the man who got into a career that didn't exist, who's a visionary, who doesn't give up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can put a message out.
Yeah, can you do that for me?
Yeah.
Cheers.
And then from there,
Yes, man.
it's up to you.
Yeah. I think it can happen.
Yeah, anything can happen, just
So
when the time is right.
So today's Friday.
Mhm.
You're picking up your partner from the airport in a couple of hours.
Yep, 3 hours.
And then Monday, you're off to
Australia. Yeah.
How are you feeling?
Good, man. Probably like a week ago, I was emotional about it. This was in camp. Ah, man. The All Whites, we all come together and we had to speak, and I just broke down in tears and shit. But yeah, I was emotional about it. But now I'm like excited.
Yeah.
Because I see when I first started here, I see it's the same as what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go and put my footprint over there. So, yeah.
I'm excited, bro.
Yeah.
But you got a really tight group of good friends. When we met at the cafe in Fields.
Yeah. Beulah.
Yeah. All good guys. So I can see and understand from the outside why it wouldn't have been an easy decision for you to move.
No.
And then I can see how strongly you feel about your partner.
Yeah, 100%. When you got a good thing.
Yeah.
You know when you got a good thing.
Yeah.
When you got a good thing, you don't let it go.
Yeah.
You set that hook. And I gotta practice my lunges. I gotta drop the knee.
Not like this new generation. Huh?
No.
I have a problem. Just swipe.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
None of that. I don't do anything for the sake of it, and that's anything.
Yeah.
I won't just train anybody. I don't just get into relationships with anybody. If it's not for long term, anything, I don't do it.
So in my mind, I'm thinking, from what I know of you, you wouldn't go there without a mid and a long-term plan.
Yeah.
So I know you got a casual job, and
Yeah.
I'm not trying to throw you under the bus.
No.
Bro, what do you really want to do there?
Look, I set my goal by 2032. I want to be in one of the Aussie teams for the 2032 Olympics, which is in Australia, 7 years from now. So I got 7 years to try and get into a team. That's it.
Which team?
Whatever Aussie team.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Bro, you used to talk about going to the Olympics.
Yeah, been to 2 now.
Yeah.
Tokyo and Paris. So massive. For me, going to the Olympics was massive for me. Like, I know a lot of people, they downplay it, or people within my circle that was there downplayed it. But for me, I was celebrating the hell out of it. Like, when you watch the Olympics as a kid all the time, even now, a lot of people watch it and you're watching the athletics, you're watching everything, but being part of it is special, because you'll always be Tokyo 2020. You'll always be Paris 2024. You were part of the Olympics. So for me, it's good.
So I don't know if you know, but the Paji Network's gone global.
Didn't know?
Yep. And unofficially, I'm the unofficial spokesperson.
Right.
And on behalf of the Pajis worldwide, props to you, bro. Been watching you for so many years.
Yeah.
We're all so proud of you.
Nah, thank you.
And we're looking forward to, seeing a big fat Indian wedding in Sydney.
Oh, I'd probably be in NZ.
NZ, even better. But also, you're showing so many of us what's possible. But I also know you've gone out of your way to pull a lot of the brothers up and guide them on the right path. And there's a lot of charity type work you do behind the scenes that you haven't spoken of. I think it'd be real cool after you've been in Aussie for a couple of years, we redo this and catch up on where you're at, what's different in the scene there, and connecting people from across the ditch to
100%, brother. I always say, like, my whole thing every day, every year, whatever it is when I leave this, I'll leave this door today, and I never come back. You never see me. That's the end of me. You know what you remember me for. You know what I mean? So I'm gone. Everything I do today, the years before me, what impression did I leave on people? Did I help anyone up? Did I put people down? Did I give people hope? That's my question. If other people are happy, I'm happy. That's that. I'm like a simple guy.
You've always been like that, bro. You've always been nice, kind, helpful, caring. If I can tap into that nature of yours, bro, I got one friend that I need help with training. He's sitting behind the camera there. And I've been really good at working with and assisting thousands of people lose weight. Nothing's worked.
Maybe it's just you. I think maybe it's just
you. Know, I think you're right. So for this specific Paji, can you take over and we'll end the pod there?
Easy.